All right. Having said all of that, today I am so excited to walk you through the workflow maturity model. And I believe this model uh, replaces the chaos that we so often feel as firm owners with clarity on where you're at and what you need to do next. Okay, so excited to dig in. But first off, let's take a step back and let's say, what is going on with workflow? When we came on the scene in 2014, 2015, we came on and there was a handful of workflow apps, some newer, some legacy competitors, a lot of spreadsheets, still are a lot of spreadsheets. But what we saw in the market then was that there wasn't a simple way to manage all of your client work, to manage all of your deadlines and due dates without things falling through the cracks. And there were players out in the market that had built just about every single feature imaginable. But firm owners like yourself just were not using them. And we couldn't figure out why. So we talked to all of you. You said, well, goodness gracious, it's not cloud based, or it's really complicated, or just so much, it's overkill. And so we came in the market, we said, can we deliver a simple way to help you manage all the recurring client work that you have in your day, in your week, in your month, in your quarter? Okay, and that's what we did, and we grew, so quickly. We made the Inc. 5000 this year for our growth and the community that came on board with us. But you fast forward to 2020, and I'm in, conceivably every Facebook, LinkedIn group. I follow every podcast, every thought leader, every author, every consultant, every speaker, every coach. I try to follow everybody, and by following everybody, this is what the landscape has now felt like. Okay, every 3 days there's a new app. It could be workflow, it could be tax, it could be accounting, it could be a new video app, a new texting app, it could be image apps. I mean, it's just so overwhelming the amount of new applications are being presented. Certainly in workflow, certainly in CRM, certainly in project and task management. It's like every other day there's just like a new widget comes up, a new shiny object that comes up, and it is entirely overwhelming. And as we've talked with firm owners, we ask them, well, how do you navigate this world? There's just so many apps. Candidly, most of them you don't need, or you certainly don't need it today, which we'll talk about. But how do you navigate it? And what they told us was, well, we typically try to go to their website, we go to the how it works, we go to the pricing page, and we look to see, does this solve my problem? Is this me? And when you open up most pricing pages to see if where you would fit in, right? Because everybody wants to know price, as they should. It makes sense. You go into these pricing pages and you go into the packaging pages, and they say things like, "Well, are you a standard? Or are you a professional?" It's like, I don't know. I'm a professional with that one standard pricing. I don't know, right? You don't know. They say, "Well, are you team, business, enterprise?" I don't know. There's seven of us. I think, we obviously are a team. I'm in business, and I think we're an enterprise too. I don't know where we go here, right? And then other people say, hey, are you a sole prop, small firm, large firm? I don't know. We're a team of seven. don't I don't know which one to pick. Okay. That's not the goal. Is not for me to pick a tool and say, hey, I'm small firm, large firm. The goal is to pick a tool and solve my problem. That's the goal. And so this is what makes it so complicated, is all of these different words are kind of meaningless. And we've looked at all of them and they're all meaningless. We don't understand what they mean. We don't understand how they segment. Some people have just say, they give up and they say, look, we're going to give you the kitchen sink. We're going to give it to you at McDonald's prices, probably questionable technology or questionable support. But we're going to give you the whole kitchen sink. We'll give you the McDonald's of the application. It's like, well, I don't really want the McDonald's of the applications. I just want to get the right one for me, and it's so hard to juggle standard, professional, small, large, team, business, enterprise. Seen others, silver, bronze, gold, Neptune, Venus, Mars. It's like, oh, goodness gracious. It is overwhelming. And when things are overwhelming, we always like to take a step back and we say, let's simplify. What really matters? What really matters to running your firm? Okay, what is a goal you need to accomplish today to do the next thing? And that's what led us to this workflow maturity model. Okay, how do you define the right actions at the right time to continue to build out your workflow sophistication to meet the goals you have as a firm owner? And I'll say this, workflow mastery is a skill. What you can't start running a marathon today. You have to learn how to stretch. You gotta drink more water. You gotta get the right shoes. You gotta start walking, right? And then you gotta build these things up. So skills of any type need building blocks. Okay, you can't just dart out and start sprinting if you haven't been running in 10 years. Workflow is kind of the same way, but nobody talks about it. And when we looked out to the ecosystem, everybody's talking about, you know, random features or random clever packaging names, but it's like, what is the ultimate goal? And that's what we started asking ourselves. And what we realized is that workflow comes in stages. You have stage one, and if you get through that stage, it allows you to level up to stage two. If you get through stage two, it allows you to level up to stage three. Okay. And that's what we have built out today. That's what I want to show you over the next couple minutes. What is stage one of workflow? What is stage two of workflow? What is stage three of workflow? And the goal here is to show you the right actions at the right time. I talk with so many firms every week and they ask me about tools and technology. Well, that it's not the tool. It's about, is it the right tool at the right time? Okay. So here is the workflow maturity model in a nutshell. This is defining the different stages that you need to work through as a firm owner, depending on where you're at. Now, here's the key thing before I show you the bullet points on here. You could be a 7-person firm. You can be a 15-person firm. You can be in stage one. You can be a 3-person firm in stage two. It's not about the size of the firm. It's about the maturity of the firm from a workflow perspective. And that's what makes this so unique. So look, here's stage one. And this shouldn't be a super big surprise for everybody. If you're have everything in a spreadsheet, have everything on a whiteboard, have everything, through calendar apps or 17 different tools or legacy systems that nobody's using, the first thing you need to do is get organized. And I know that if you're an extremely entrepreneurial accounting firm owner, you don't like stage one. You're like, no, give me stage two, give me stage three. I want to go to the next. I want to build out the team. I want to do this. No, you just need to get organized. I was talking with a 9-person firm. They're buying a huge application that nobody's using it. They're becoming disgruntled. And I said, hey, did you ever get organized? They said, no. Okay. Let's go back to stage one. Let's get organized. If you're organized, if you have a central place where everything is documented and everybody is using it. Everybody is using it. Okay. If you have something in a central place and nobody's using it, stage two is going to be chaos. If you don't have a central place, stage two is going to be chaos. But we find time and time and time again that when you get organized, when you have everything in a central place, everybody's using it, everybody knows where to go to check things off, what happens? Well, you as the firm owner, you wake up and you say, hey, wow, I have more free time. So you go out and get more clients. You go out and reprice your services. You go up and update your pricing. And when you do so, what happens? You hire more team members. You get more clients. And all of a sudden, you can't firefight for your clients anymore. Your team has to. And you have to manage your team. So stage two is about managing your team and client experience. And what this means is you need to have a clear understanding of what your team is working on. What are they doing? What have they completed? What's upcoming? And they need to have a delightful client experience. Now, here's what happens. And as a side note, if you are so obsessed with hiring out the right team and you keep scaling up your team, but you're not organized, this stage becomes even more painful. And a lot of applications, a lot of tools are out there will just sell you stage two stuff. But if you haven't gotten to stage one yet, this is going to be chaotic. All right. But if you solve this, if you have a great way to manage your team, you have a great way to deliver client experience, guess what happens? You grow again. And what's stage three? Stage three is you now need to build leaders. Okay. You need accountability for your managers. They're running payroll teams and tax teams and accounting teams. And if you do this again, maybe you go out and you buy a stage two firm. Okay. So very quickly, because I know I'm going to be butting up against time here, but where are you at with your firm? Go ahead and type into the chat right now. Do you need to just get organized? Hey, I thought I was scale. I thought I was hiring. I thought it was this. I just need to get organized. I need everybody using the same tool in the same way at the same time, or scale or lead. Okay. Go ahead and type into the chat right now and identify where you're at. Now, look, when we discovered this model and we realized that every firm has to go through this arc, we asked ourselves, well, goodness, why isn't software aligned with your goals? It's not about clever titles or random words. It's about your goals and how we can help you achieve them. That's what we're about. That's what you need. Okay. Well, I'm excited to tell you that this model has become the blueprint for where we're taking the platform. Okay. So here's the start of our platform. Okay. Going today, we're going to take our core product, the one you are all using, and we are calling that Organize. It is the foundational product that helps you get organized fast. Okay, we are now releasing later today a new product tier called Scale. So we're launching the first feature in that, and it's designed to help you build a better team and deliver better client experience. And then finally, down the road, we're gonna have a package called Lead, which will help you build out your managers. So the first feature in Scale is going live today. Okay, the first feature, it's Scale Beta. It's brand new. It's just coming into the market. And we have one feature, one core feature that's being live today, which we're going to talk about at 2 p.m. We're super excited to bring this model because we feel like it is completely aligned with your success, completely aligned with your goals. So later today, 2 p.m., we're not only going to unlock the Scale tier, you're going to start seeing that on our marketing website. I'm going to show you the first feature inside of the tier at 2 p.m. So I'm really excited